This is your new radicalized Democratic Party, putting America and your life last every single day. Anyway, here with more is Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, as well. I mean, let's start with this guy in El Salvador. What do we know about this guy in El Salvador? Did not one but two judges designate that this guy was an MS-13 gang member?
Well, he's home. He's an illegal alien, MS-13 gang member, classified now as a terrorist, with an order of deportation. Two federal judges not only found he's an MS-13 member, two federal judges issued an order of removal. He has an order of removal. He is home. We removed the gang member terrorist white beater from this country because the court ordered him deported. So I keep saying this, the best that can happen for him, Sean, is he does come back to the United States, we detain him immediately, and we immediately remove him. He has an order of deportation. The withholding order doesn't mean anything since the situation has changed. He is now a terrorist, and the withholding order was about a gang who's afraid of going back to a country where the gang is going. The gang doesn't exist anymore. President Bukele shut it down. So all the facts around the withholding have changed. We removed the gang, public safety threat, MS-13 member, terrorist from this United States. And we did exactly what we should have done. He's home. He's in his home country.
All right. They keep making the argument about due process, due process, due process. And you had a pretty good line. You said that this guy Garcia got more due process than Laken Riley. Or I'll add Rachel Morin. Or I'll add Jocelyn Nungary. Or I can scroll the names of other Americans that have been murdered, raped, and victims of violent crime. They didn't get any due process, did they?
No, they didn't. He got due process. He got two immigration judges. Two federal judges ordered him deported after a hearing. He got due process, but you're right. Angel moms and dad across this country, they get no due process, just like the parents of the two that were killed by an illegal alien in California. They didn't get due process. And we're, so they enter the country illegally, so they ignore the legal process when they come here illegally, but all of a sudden they're getting deported. Now they want to take advantage of the legal process. It's upside down, but we're going to keep doing what we're doing, Sean.
Well, all right, so we have Hamas. It's a designated terror organization, and you have foreign international students that are being held. And if you're sympathizing with a terrorist organization, a designated terrorist organization, what gives you the right to stay in our country? Doesn't that association or even moral support represent a clear and present danger to our country?
Absolutely, and you violate the terms of that visa. Getting a visa to come to this country to study is a privilege, and you have rules that you have to qualify for to get that visa. So there's terms that you have to live by. When you violate these terms, like supporting a terrorist organization, that visa can be pulled and you're going home. I'm in the export program, so the minute the Department of State ends your status in the United States, my job is to deport them, and that's what we're doing. They might have got away with that in the Biden administration. They're not going to get away with that in the Trump administration.
What message would you send to Van Hollen, these four congressmen, the people going to Louisiana to appeal for this student? What message do you have for all of them?
Where were you when thousands of American parents buried their children? They got separated from children forever because they were buried because they were killed by illegal aliens that enter this country legally. That's preventable crimes. Where were you when the 600% increase in sex trafficking with the Biden administration? Where were you when 10.5 million people came to our borders illegally? Where were you when millions were released in the United States in defiance of federal law? The law says you come to this country, you come to our borders without proper documentation, you shall be detained. Not released, shall be detained. Where were you when they released the millions of people in the United States? Where were you when a record number of people on terrorist watch list crossed this border and were released in the United States with no vetting? Where were you when 250,000 Americans died from fentanyl coming across the border, open border, Biden administration? Where were you then? You were silent, which means you're complicit. You didn't say a word about the violation of laws that put America at great risk. Not just public safety, national security. So where were you then? It's pathetic and disgusting. They are elected by the people to represent the taxpayers of this country. When you don't care about your constituency, when you don't care about public safety and national security, you're an embarrassment to the position you hold. Where were you the last 4 years?
That's a great question, and I'd like to see them try and answer it. And they lied to us on top of it and said the border was closed and the border was secure, and our own eyes showed us differently. One of the people, there are now the Trump administration under your leadership have been able to nab over more than 200 known or suspected terrorists since January, including one of India's most wanted terrorists. What do you know about this guy?
First of all, President Trump secured the border in 7 weeks, which Joe Biden couldn't want to do in 4 years. Today we have the safest, most secure border in history of this nation today because of President Trump. Look, we've arrested a lot of terrorists. We got a lot more to find. We got over 2 million gotaways. Who are they? Where do they come from? So we're working with the intelligence community, FBI, Department of Justice. We got more to do. But yes, we've arrested more criminals in the first 3 months than Joe Biden did in a year. We tripled that number, so we got more to find, Sean. There's a lot of public safety threats out there. 600,000 illegal aliens with criminal records we got to find. But what concerns me the most is the 2 million gotaways. Who are they? Where do they come from? We don't know, but we're working very hard with the intelligence community to try to find out where these people are and who they are. They need to be arrested. They need to be detained. They need to be removed. So we're doing great, but we got a hell of a lot more to do, which is now a message to Congress. Give us the funding to continue this. With the more money we have, the more we can do. The more agents we can put on the street, the more beds we can buy, put people in before we can deport them. We need Congress to fund this operation so we can keep President Trump's promise to the American people.
Yeah, Tom Homan, great job. We appreciate you being with us. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.